My sister's husband has a good job. That means he has no problem for money. So you can say they are, that means my sister and her family, in good shape financially. She has a good education and a lot of experience. So she is in good shape for the job market. So job market is what? Job market is a situation. For that situation, she is fit and they have a good job. That means financially they are in good shape. No problem financially. No problem for the situation. When somebody has no problem for something, you say in a good shape. Okay, right. Similar expression in shape. This is not good shape. This is in shape. That means physically fit. Physically, your body fit. Body fit is in shape. That you not financially, not situationally, but physically. Then not in good shape. It's just shape in shape. See, she exercises every day to stay in shape. She wants to stay in shape, good fit. So she does exercises. You look great. How do you stay in shape? That means your body is fit. That's it. Right? So Matt says, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. I'm still a bit jet lagged at the moment, but should be in good shape by tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing what John has in store for me. So here, the same thing. I want to show you in good shape. What is that? He will be good for the situation, not physical fitness, right? Physical fitness comes if you eat good foods and then do exercises, go to gym and all that, right? But it doesn't mean that he will be in good shape tomorrow. That means for the situation. Situation is they want to travel, they want to enjoy for that. Okay, I hope you understand it. Next one is to be good looking, to be looking forward to something, to be looking forward to something. Okay, this one somebody can explain to me. Maybe who? Lasit, please tell me what it is.
Eagerly wait for something.
Excuse me?
Eagerly wait for something.
Yes, yes, yes. You are waiting for something with pleasure. Right? You are very happy or happily waiting something to happen. So that's it. Eagerly waiting for something. Eagerly means happily. This expression, looking forward to, indicates that the speaker is very happy about a future event. Maybe future event means future happening. Something happens. Tomorrow it is going to rain. You can say, I'm looking forward to that situation. Right? So tomorrow you have some function in your church or temple or you have something. Then you can say, I'm looking forward to. You are waiting with pleasure for that. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Saturday, I want to see you, so I'm looking forward to. She's really looking forward to going to college in the fall. Fall means autumn, right? That's American word, autumn. We have spring, summer, and autumn, winter. So autumn in American English, fall. So she is looking forward to going to college in the fall. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. So you are looking forward to something to happen in the future. So that's it. Another way to say this is with the expression can't wait to. You can't wait. You have no patience to wait. So how can you say? I can't wait to see you on Saturday. You are coming on Sunday. I can't wait. That means I am very happy. I'm waiting. I have no patience. She can't wait to go to college in the fall. She's really happy. She's thrilled. She's overjoyed. That's the idea. Matt says, thanks so much. Okay, somebody can read it. Who is going to read? Nirmala, please read it.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. I'm still a bit jet lagged at the moment, but should be in good shape by tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing what John has in store for me.
All right. Here, when two comes, usually you have simple word to go, to come, to like that. But here with looking forward, remember that we take ing. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Don't say I'm looking forward to meet you. That's wrong. Really wrong, right? I'm looking forward to meeting you. Okay. So how do you pronounce this? I'm still a bit jet lagged. Pronounced as jet lagged at the moment. At the moment means now, but should be in good shape by tomorrow. What is good shape? Situationally fit. Thanks so much. You have learned all these words, right? And John has in store, and this we don't understand, then we are going to learn. Right. Now I think you understand looking forward. To have in store for. What is it? To have in store for. To have, why we have to have here? That's the verb, right? You can use have, has, had, will have, having, had. For all the forms of the verb, we use only one to have. That's the uh, infinitive form of the verb. The phrase to have in store for indicates an unknown situation that someone presents to someone else. It can be good or bad, right? So that's the situation, some new situation. Supposing I am coming to your house tomorrow, so then I would say, I don't know what I have in store, what you have in store for me. I don't know what they have in store for me. Maybe you have good things for me. Maybe you have bad things for me. But you have something for me for sure. So I don't know what you have for me. So then I say you have something in you have something in store for me. I don't know what you have in store for me, right? So it is important that you understand these phrases, right? So now look here, what we do, we translate this into Sinhalese and we make a very, very bad version of English, right? That becomes Singlish. Unless you don't understand these living expressions, they have meaning, they have life. These expressions have life. When you can use thousand words, but English people understand this little phrase. When you give this little phrase, they are get the meaning. Right? So, we have to learn in English, we have to learn. Sometimes you have to learn. Actually, you have to learn these things. You have to learn words. That's good. You learn words. Words. Sometimes words are not enough. Then you have to learn phrases. There are set phrases in language. And then sometimes the phrases are not enough. Then you have to learn clauses. Right? So in English, it is not words. First, you have letters, the alphabet. Alphabet is letters, A, B, C, D. Those are letters. Then we don't use letters to communicate, but we use words. Words are the basic fundamental things. And after that, we have phrases. Phrases are rich in meaning. They are charged in meaning, and then we have clauses. See, and they are not only those things. We have to learn idioms. And not only them, we have to learn slangs. Right? So this is how English makes, right? Idioms and slangs. So then if you know all these things, you understand the language. But people who don't, those people who never been to schools, in houses, they all use idioms and slangs. But for our foreigners, they are advanced. Idioms and slangs, advanced. We learn them in advanced courses, but the idioms and slangs are in day-to-day language. Right? They are very simple expression. Anybody understand? There are when you talk about slangs and idioms and phrases, you have to be very careful about formality. Some are formal, some are informal. Right? You can't use informal phrases in formal situations because people get angry sometimes. Right? And if you want to get the real result, you have to learn the right word. Okay. To have in store for indicates. What is indicate? Indicators you have in your dashboard, in your cars, you have indicators. Right? And indicate means show an unknown situation. Situation is an event or something going to happen, you don't know. That someone present, somebody is present, somebody is giving us, somebody is giving to someone else. Maybe it's giving to us. It can be good or bad, right? So that is the idea. You have to understand that. Okay. Right. I'm going home, but I no idea what my family will have in store for me. So after a long time, if you're going home, you can say, I don't know what my family will have in store for me. What is waiting for me in my home? I don't know. Right? What is waiting? What they have in store for me? So this word is used so much, right? So often people use it. So you have to learn it. It's not a word, it's an expression, it's a phrase, right? See, this phrase go together, have in store. You can't change them. You can't say have on store for me, or have for store for me, or have at store for me. They're all wrong. Only have in store for me is right. Right? Or here you can use have in store for, not have in store to me. Then wrong. Right? You have to have for. Okay. We are going shopping tomorrow to see what the designers have in store for us this season. That means designers, maybe the market has in store for us. That's a good saying. So I hope you understand. But you have to have patience, so lots of patience if you are learning a language. You have to wait in patience, right? You don't know what you have in store for me in this course, right? You have so much in store for you. You have to wait, right? And slowly you're learning. I am giving you 14 lessons like this. This is the first lesson. I shall give you 14 lessons plus some others, right? Okay. So then you had to go slowly. Finish all the 14 lessons. He's been working there for years, but he never knows what's in for him, what's in store for him until he gets there. So this you read this and try to understand and send it to you. Now Matt says, thanks so much. I really appreciate that I'm still a bit jet lagged at the moment, but should be in good shape by tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing what John has in store for me. So here you will come across again store for me, right? Now you have learned, thanks so much, and you have learned jet lagged, I said, and good shape and looking forward, all these things you have learned, right? Now I think we have finished that part. Now we are moving to show up on someone's doorstep. Show up on someone's doorstep. You understand doorstep? Doorstep means when you enter the house, there is a step, so you have to just stand on it and enter the house. That's called doorstep. You keep your leg on the feet on the doorstep first before entering the house. To show our on one's doorstep means the meaning is different, right? Now see, these things you can't learn in words. You can't break this into words. You have to learn the whole phrase together. Show up on someone's doorstep. goes together. What is the meaning? To visit someone without notice. You go there, you don't give notice, you don't inform them, you just go, it's a surprise. It doesn't necessarily mean that you plan to stay overnight. Maybe you don't stay there overnight or longer, but it is possible. Sometimes you might stay longer, sometimes, but sometimes no. But you go there without notice. Yeah? I was just getting ready to go out when my cousin showed up on my doorstep. What is that? I was getting ready to go out when my cousin showed up on my doorstep. That means he has come, he has visited me. Now he is waiting at on my doorstep. So then I see him on my doorstep, then I am surprised. Maybe it's a trouble, maybe I don't know what the situation, but without notice, this guy has come. That is the idea. God says, don't worry, we'll all take good care of you. And don't be surprised. We show up on your doorstep in San Diego one day, ready for surf. This is what God says. Right? Do you understand it? He says that we show up on your doorstep. That means we suddenly, without letting you know, without informing you, we shall be at your place. And then don't be surprised. And we'll be ready to surfing. Surfing means it's a sport, right? You are doing that on a in the sea. You are moving with boats. I think you understand surfing. Right? Related expressions. Related means connected expressions. We dropping and drop by. But these are used only for short visits. Show up is very different. Maybe you stay there. But drop in and drop by is always short visits. Casual, very casual. Never an overnight stay. You never stay maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then finish. That is why you say drop in. You drop in somewhere and get some information or get something and run. And dropping is always suddenness is there. Urgent. We were in town, so we decided to drop in to see you. We were in the town, so we decided to drop in to see you. We just came, urgent visit, only to see you, maybe 5 minutes, then go. Please drop by for a while. Please come. අපි මේක සිංහලෙන් කියනවා නිකන් ගොඩ වෙදිලා යනවා කියලා. පොඩි වෙලාවට ගොඩ වෙදිලා යන්නකෝ. I miss seeing you. මම ඔයාව දැක්කෙම නෑ. එතකොට ගොඩ වෙදිලා යන්නකෝ. මෙතන නිකන් ගොඩ වෙදින කඩා වෙදිනවා වගේ තමයි. අර show up කියලා කියන්නේ එකපාරටම මතු වෙනවා ඔන්න ඇවිල්ලා. ගනුන් දීමක් නැතුව ඇවිල්ලා. ඇවිල්ලා සමහරවිට ගොඩක් වෙලා ඉන්නත් පුළුවන්. ටික වෙලාවක් ඉන්නත් පුළුවන්. මේකේ දිහා නිකන් ගොඩ වදිනවා. ගොඩ වෙදිලා යනවා. ඉන්න විනාඩි 5ක් 10ක් ලැබෙනවා. dropping from by. right? So we were in the town. අපි මේ town වලට ආව පොඩ්ඩක් ඉතින් අපි තීරණය කළා ඔය පොඩ්ඩක් ගොඩ වෙදිලා බලලා යන්න ඕනේ. Okay? Please drop by for a while. I miss seeing you. චුට්ටක් ඇවිල්ලා මේ චුට්ටක් මේ පැත්තේ ගොඩ වෙදිලා යන්නකෝ. චුට්ටක් මේ පැත්තේ ගොඩ වෙලා යන්නකෝ. for a while කියන්නේ චුට්ටකට මේ පොඩ්ඩක් ගොඩ වෙලා යන්නකෝ. ඔයාව දැක්කෙම නෑ. මෙන්න මේ වගේ කියනවා. I miss seeing you. ඔයාව දැක්කෙම නෑ මම. දැක්කෙම නැතුව මේ නිකන් I miss you කියන්නේ මොකද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ ටෙලිෆෝන් කවුරුන් දීපුවම ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියනවා ඉතින් I miss you ගහ ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියනවා I miss you කියලා. I miss you කියන්නේ මොකද? Somebody tell me, Samaragod, what is I miss you? I miss you. You miss the bus and then I miss you. What is the meaning? I miss you. Samaragod?
International Society Organization.
I miss you. I miss you.
I miss you.
What is that?
That means,
International organization is one mission or something. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you කියන්නේ අපි දැන් කාට හරි ටෙලිෆෝන් කරලා වානේ I miss you කියලා කියන්නේ. ඔයා නැතුව මට පාළුයි. අන්න I miss you. ඔයා නැතුව මට පාළුයි. දැන් මෙතනදී I miss seeing you. ආව දකින්න නැතුව නිකන් මට කෑවෙනවා වගේ. ඔයාව දකින්න නැතුව නිකන් මට මොකද්ද ඔය seeing you. දකින්න නැතුව හරි පාළු කියන්නේ මේකට පොඩක් එවිල්ලා යනවා. දකින්න නැතුව නිකන් හරි අමාරුයි. I miss කියන්නේ මට ඒක නැතුව හරි අප්සෙට් වෙනවා. මිස් කියන්නේ අර බස් එක මිස් වෙනවා කියන අතපසු වෙනවා. මෙතනදී අපි තව මිස් කියලා කියනවා එහෙම නැතුව හරි අමාරුයි කියලා. I miss you. I miss your smile. වගේ හිනාව නැතුව මට පාළුයි. ඒක නැතුව හරි අමාරුයි. So you will understand that. I miss my mother's food. අපේ අම්මගේ කෑම එක නැතුව මට හරි අමාරුයි. අපේ අම්මගේ කටහඬ නැතුව අපි කොහේ හරි ගිහලා බෝඩිම හැදුනා අම්මා කතා කරලා හඬක් කරලා. ඉතින් ඉන්නකොට අම්මා කොච්චර කතා කරනවද? කොච්චර ආදරේ හිටිනවද අම්මා හැම වෙලේම ඒ දිවි ළඟ ගහලා උළුවට ගහලා කෑම එකක් දීලා කරගෙනකොට ඒක නැති වෙන කොහේ හරි ගියාම so then you say I miss my mother's voice. නැත්නම් හරද මීපෙලි දානවා වගේ අම්මගේ හඬ හැම වෙලේම ඇහෙනවා. දෝංකාර දෙනවා. ඒක නැතුව I miss my mother's voice. I miss my mother's food. I miss my village. රටකට ගියාම I miss my country. මගේ රටට ගියන් රටක ඉන්නකොට කියනවා I miss my home. ඉදර නැතුව මට අමාරුයි. ඉදර නැති. ඉතින් අපිට හෝම් සික් හැදෙන්නේ. අපි කියන්නේ හෝම් සික් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? හෝම් සික් කියන්නේ ගෙදර නැතිව තියෙන පාළුව. උහේ බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා. උඩ බලන් ඉන්නවා. හෝම් සික් හැදෙනවා. හෝම් සික් හැදෙනවා කියන්නේ මේව අල්ලගන්න මේ අමුතු වචන නෙමෙයි. හෝම් සික් හැදෙනවා සමහරක් ලව් සික් හැදෙනවා. You understand? Love sick, home sick. So please drop by for a while. I miss seeing you. Then to show up. Show up, on the other hand, is used negatively to indicate that someone often doesn't appear when expected. Right. This word has negative meaning. Negative meaning, you wait for someone, but that person doesn't come. He promised to come at 8 o'clock, and it is 8 o'clock now. We are waiting. That man never shows up, right? He never shows up. He never comes. So it is negative. It has that meaning also. Pia said she was coming, but you never know she'll show up or not. She will show up means come or not. You don't know. Another meaning of show up, when used as a direct object to perform or seem better than someone else. If you are doing better than other person, then you can say I show up, right? You show up. You see, your singing was fantastic. You showed up all the other contestants. There were other people competing with you, but what happened? You showed up them all. That means you came up, they went down. You showed up all the other people. You came up. That's the idea, right? He will show up the competition with his fantastic speech. So he talked in the speech. He will speak. Fantastic speech in the competition. He will show up. Means he come up. Everybody will see him. Other people will go down. You understand? Show up is that. She showed us up. She showed us all up when she came in wearing that red dress. She came to the party or somewhere wearing that red dress. Then she showed us all up. So people did not see us all. People saw only her. Oh, she got the attention in the party and we have nothing. Because with the red dress, everybody's eyes turned to that side and our clothes were nowhere. Right? We didn't have a place there. You understand? Showed up. So it is really nice. Now that is over, finished. Right? Now I shall open your mics for a while. And then wait. Give me a minute.